All right, we just heard from Rotate the Completor, kind of a little-known street performer from New Zealand, and a record. And you have 2 records out from Rotate the Completor. This is the first of them.
Yeah.
So we heard track number 6 from the completed rotations of. And I really, really like this record.
Mm-hmm.
I think the playing is really strong on it. I think most people who would come to it thinking, oh, this is an quote-unquote outsider artist would be maybe taken aback a bit by how, like, accomplished.
Proficient he
Yeah,
is.
exactly. Yeah. And how did you come across Rotate the Completor's work? Because I mean, he's not certainly well known by any means.
No, he's not. Someone on the outsider music list on Yahoo had posted a tale where they said they were walking down the street one day in Tauranga, New Zealand, which is not a city known for the music as much as like Dunedin or Auckland or what have you. And saw this guy playing guitar on the street that seemed to be like the reason why everyone is clearing a wide berth around him.
They were a little fearful.
Yeah. So, this guy was standing watching him, and he said, like, thank you. Like, I really enjoyed it, when the guy was finished performing. And the performer just, like, got really nervous and started walking away. And he managed to follow him to, like a fruit stand, like, hounding him, like, saying, I really, really liked it. And, just wrote his address down on a piece of paper and said, if you have any music, please, I'd love to buy something, and stuffed it in his pocket. And like 6 months later, this cassette tape showed up out of the blue, and it took him a minute to realize, like, oh yeah, this was the guy that I saw on the street, like half a year ago. Long story made slightly shorter. I got a hold of him, just wrote him a letter because there was an address attached to it, and got my own copy of the cassette. And said, I'd love to put this out on vinyl and, get it to a wider audience. And he agreed. He wrote up a contract in an interesting way. And that was it. I mean, I don't know what his name is. I don't know what his mom calls him. I only know him as Rotate the Completor.
Right.
And he's never wanted to tell me. I've never asked.
And the stuff that you've released, is that all that you're aware of? I mean, are there a lot of tapes floating around of his still?
There is a third one that he's done, which... he sent me a CDR of. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know how active he is. I don't know if he performs on the street a lot, or if he records a lot, or what. But I just loved, that, as you were saying, just like how, how technically good he is.
Right,
at the same time that he's incorporating this completely oddball aesthetic, and it just makes it sound like a carousel music that went off the rails.
Yeah. But, so if anybody has any more information about Rotate the Completor,
yes,
get in touch with James.
Or don't tell me. I kind of like not knowing.
Right, the mystique behind that, right? But in front of that, again, Crystal Siphon, which you said you're down to kind of like your last copies, and possibly another repressing coming up for that release. So those
possibly, yeah. And there is definitely going to be a second Crystal Siphon release coming, hopefully by the end of the year.